Hey guys, what's up? I was asked to make a video talking about advanced predator hunting grounds mechanics, and well, a lot of these came so natural to me over time, over playing it, and I don't even remember how many were I found out on my own just by playing, or I was told by other players, but like the information about these were spread out so fast among the player base during a time that I thought it was like common knowledge, but I mean some people are still not aware of how these things like actually work and how like sometimes I can play the game because of these things. I think how make the game easier for me. Some people ask me like, oh, how can you change weapons like that? How can you do this and that? And well, I'm gonna be trying to explain a little bit of that in this video. And a lot of these were very, let's say, they were very controversial because it went into the category of what is considered an exploit in this game or not. Because a lot of these advanced PhD mechanics, they kind of involve sometimes like something that people will refer as animation canceling. And then it was like a big controversy, whatever. This like you're not like hacking the game, but you're like using like let's say maybe a fault into the game design, into the gameplay that allows you to just do something that it shouldn't be possible otherwise, like that, you know. It's not like a turbo exploit, let's say like the fanatic or reckless exploits, which would increase the damage of the fighting like by 3 times more, and it was like completely breaking the game. And it was hilarious how a lot of people that accused me of hacking, as soon as that exploit became available, started using it on everyone. And I'm still glad that I never died to that exploit and managed to kill all those guys despite them exploiting it. But anyway, so some of these exploits that have been very bad in this game, like Fanatic Reckless, that would just give fighting insane damage, or like the one with the gear exploit that would allow people to like just mess up with the attachments of a secondary weapon into the gear slot, let's say it, and it would allow people to have like 200 turrets, 200 grenades. It would just like, there are like so many exploits. I would say the only exploit that I still know that can be available are just the bugged specializations. If you reset the loadouts, they're gonna be reset back to default. And like, let's say like every time if you start the game new, like you're a new player, just got the game, each loadout has a predator class. Like the loadout 1 is gonna have a hunter, loadout 2 is gonna have a scout. And if you have that loadout 1, for example, and if you have like you put over time put the Elder Stalker there, and the loadout get resetted, it's gonna have the hunter back, but it's gonna keep the specialization of the that you had before the reset. It's gonna be like the Elder. And I mean, this thing has been a thing ever since the specializations were added to the game for I think it was the Predators or no, I don't remember if I already seen bugged specializations on fighting, but it was around like, I think it became more common to happen after they added for the Predators, because when they added for fighting, they first added for fighting the specialization. I don't remember seeing any bugged specialization during that time. It was only after they added for Predators in an update, which caused a lot of resetting, that people realized that these things could happen. There is still a way to manually do this, but only has fighting, which involves using the Spartan helmet. Like if you put the Spartan helmet in which is a helmet that was supposed to be developer exclusive, but they released it by accident back in 2020. If you put this helmet on a female, because I mean there is only available for females, so you have to equip a female firearm to be able to put the helmet. And if you equip it and you change it to a male, it's gonna reset if you restart the game, because the helmet was not made for male. It was supposed to be made for the female firearms. So if you just if you put the helmet, switch to the male body, and you close the game and restart it, it's gonna reset the loadout that you want manually. And I mean, I remember like I tested this like back then, like 2021, I think it was when I found out about this, and I did it to get the assault sniper, and it can also keep the perks that you have added, you know, into the loadout. Let's say I use it like a recon sniper. I put the Spartan helmet on a female recon sniper, and I would put like gearhead, thick skin, and bane. Which I mean, right now you cannot do that, but back then you could use that perk combination, which was very strong. And then I would reset the loadout, and then it was like, let's say, it would just reset back to assault, and the assault will have the sniper specialization, and he would have gearhead, thick skin, and bane, which was just very OP. Like assault sniper, with that assault sniper loadout that I used, it would be like pretty much like on Dante level, like on pay to win, you know, like Dante's OP. That would be OP as well. So other stuff that I see a lot of people using it that even now, and I don't like it can be considered like exploit, or it can also be considered like animation canceling, which is about the knife. The knife has always been kind of like broken in this game, you know. And I mean, I think that, yeah, I mean, for actual exploits relating to just changing manually things in the game, I would say, yeah, only debugging specialization and manually doing it with the Spartan helmet would be intentional. But now I'm gonna talk about stuff like in-game, like the gameplay itself. The double knife thing is pretty much like how you can, because of the way that I wouldn't say like the average key bindings, you know, the default key bindings that you have, because you have different keys to you have like multiple keys that do knife attacks, you know. So what this results is that if you press them too fast, like one after the other, it kind of allows the fighting to do like multiple knife hits, which people call it double knife, triple knife. I see this being done, I believe, even in 2020. Ever since the game started, the knife has always been like a mess. The parry system has always been made fun of because it's stupid to see a predator with a big axe get parried by fighting with a little butter knife. It's just stupid. It is just stupid. But even then, like, I mean, that's how they decided to make the game. So anyway, and a problem was that the knife damage was too high, especially in certain classes. Oh, talking about the knife, a little Easter egg that some people don't even know. The knife damage varies per class. The lighter the class, the less damage. The heavier, the more damage. So that's why Dutch 87 and support with heavy hitter can do insane knife damage. The knife damage of those classes is just stupid, which is why that's why they can be so OP, because not only they take more damage, they can take more damage from the predator, but they can also apply more damage, especially in melee. So those classes are a mess if you're gonna be going for like a melee build. And you combine this with the double knife exploit, it becomes even more common. And I've seen players even like on console, PlayStation using this. I think I heard people saying, oh, it's because they're using turbo controllers. I don't know anything about that because I have not had a console ever since Xbox 360 was my last console. And for PlayStation, my last PlayStation was PlayStation 2. So I don't know how controllers on PlayStation work right now. So I just note that this exploit can be easily done on PlayStation as well. And how did you do it? Well, if you have like a weapon equipped, you have the primary weapon. And when the predator comes up close, you just press the key that you use to parry. I think the default on PC is like V, I don't know, mine is Q right now. So you just press the key that you use to parry, and you hold it. And as soon as you press it, you just press the heavy attack and then the light attack. And it's pretty much like the combination of pressing the key that you use to parry, which is gonna make you do a knife attack. Like if you press the parry key, it changes from your gun to your knife, and it's gonna do like a knife slash, and it's gonna go back to your gun. But if you hold it, you're gonna have the knife equipped. You know, it's not if you hold the key that you use for parrying, not only is gonna make it to do a knife slash, but it's also gonna allow you to keep the knife. It's gonna equip the knife automatically. You know, so if you do that fast and you press the heavy attack as well, it's pretty much like gonna like skip the animation in a way that is gonna allow like the fire thing is gonna do like the parry, the knife attack from the parry, it's gonna do damage, and then soon after is already gonna do like the heavy. So the knife animation just goes too fast, and you pretty much like do the double knife. And I mean, I see people even doing triple knife by using like macros and stuff. Like, so knife is a problem in this game, and that's pretty much like how people have been using it. Another thing that I needed to mention would be the key bindings, which, I mean, this shouldn't really be considered advanced because I think key bindings are part of any game. Like, it's just very basic. However, in this game, key bindings have been in the center of a lot of controversy because people are calling this exploit. Like, let's say if I play as a predator, a lot of people would complain that I wasn't using the weapon wheel, and would just say that I was cheating at the game for doing that. And I'm like, why? I mean, when I play fighting, I don't use the weapon wheel. You can have the key bindings to change from like one weapon, primary weapon is one, secondary weapon is two. You have key bindings for the fighting weapons, but for the predator, you don't have it by default. You have to go to the settings and change it. And this became like a big controversy just because of how easier it made for predator players to apply damage. And that's a problem, like, because it was mainly done by fighting mains that didn't like losing. So you could just like have the combat stick as your primary weapon, and then you have like a key binding for it. And as soon as you throw the combat stick, which will be the most common use for key bindings and why they were giving advantage to the Predator players would be that you control the combat stick and you press another weapon, and it would allow you to change to the other weapon fast and allow you to keep applying damage to the fighting. Because usually, if you throw the combat stick, you're gonna switch to the wrist blades. You can try to follow with the wrist blade attack, but it doesn't do that much damage. If you want to change to another weapon, you would have to use the weapon wheel. You have to throw the combat stick, wait for a second, use the weapon wheel, then the Predator is gonna start equipping the other weapon. By the time you do that, the fighting could have already healed, could have gotten away. The other fighting players would have joined in and started shooting you. So what we would just do, we would just like throw the combat stick and change to the secondary weapon as soon as possible, which could be like the bow, and then he would just follow with the arrow attack. And if you press this very fast, you can do it like almost like less than a second from each other. Like the combat stick throw and the bow, the arrow shot can be done like from less than a second apart from each other. If you just practice very fast. I even made a video like talking about how I change weapons fast, and it can be done very simply. Like you just press the hold and aim and shoot, like like just right mouse, left mouse. That's what, and I would just press 3, which would be the key that I use to change to my secondary weapon. So I would just press right mouse, left mouse, press 3, left mouse, right mouse, left mouse again. That's it. Like you just have to press all these keys in the right sequence very fast. It allows you to do a lot as a Predator. You can throw the combi, follow with a melee weapon, change to a melee weapon, try that as well. You can just also do it with the pistol. So that's like, I don't think it's such a big deal. Like that people are saying that, oh, you're changing weapons fast because you're using macros. You don't need macros, you just need fast clicking. Because even people on PlayStation manage to do this after a while. You just change the key bindings and you have the keys that you can press very fast, one after the other, and it allows you to do the animations faster. So it does take some skill to do this, even though, oh, but you're forcing the game to skip certain animations with the Predator of changing weapons. Sure, but I mean, back then, I would just think it was so silly because fighting was so OP. This was being done, I think, even before Predator had the specialization. So I was like, come on, you guys have support Fieldmatic, Recon Tracker, a lot of overpowered stuff, like the specializations. Predator had nothing. Predator has been worse than it is right now. Like, so, I mean, like, the only thing that Predator players could have to have a chance of winning was resorting to things like this. And people just still complain, but that was pretty much it. Advanced in regards to weapons, I would say that certain weapons are just much better than others. And I think this can go into the territory of the meta builds. Pretty much like the Saw Sniper primary weapon and the Hammerhead primary weapon are the best one in the game. The best secondary weapon is gonna be the second pistol. Or you can, the minigun is not bad at the moment, but I would just say that certain weapons in this game are just very bad, like the plasma rifles, the shotguns, and those weapons are just not very good. They can be good for killing AI, but against the Predator, they're just not very good. The gap, I would say, just letting people know that the gap between weapons in this game is just stupid. Some weapons are just insanely better than other ones. You can compare like the 1011 pistol to the revolver. 1011 pistol does more damage per shot, it has a bigger clip, it has a faster fire rate, so it's completely superior to the revolver in every single way. So why would you even bother with a weapon? So I would say the balance of the weapons are just a mess. It's just like completely terrible in this game, because if you want to have a chance against a Predator, you're gonna have to use like specific weapons that can actually put up a fight. Like if the whole thing is just using plasma rifle, like it's not gonna do much unless they're really good. But if you're just like the average fighting player and you play alone and your teammates are bad, probably is not gonna do much. Like if you don't use like a meta build, you're probably gonna have a hard time if the Predator player is not completely brain dead. So if it just jumps in with wrist plates, maybe, yeah, you can always use the knife. But the plasma rifle or the shotguns, like even a player that just got the game that is using Hunter Fervent is gonna kill you with wrist plates. Like you can be, doesn't matter really how much good you are. I would say, I mean, maybe if you're using support, but I mean, if you just use the plasma rifle, you don't use the knife, like those weapons are just not very efficient for that. So I would say the gap between some certain things in this game, let's say for Predator, I mean, for the Predators right now, I would say is like everything's bad. They nerfed the plasma caster, they nerfed the pistol, they nerfed the bow, they nerfed the disc. So I would say, like, as of now for the Predator, everything is bad pretty much. Like, I would say the weapons are all in the same league almost. Maybe just the disc can be done like a little bit more strong. but everything else is like almost in the same tier, because back then the meta would be just the combi and the bow. They nerfed the bow, so it's not as efficient. The plasma caster was very strong during a time, but then they nerfed the splash damage. Then they buffed the pistol, and the pistol became kind of like a little bit better than the bow. But then they nerfed the pistol back, so now like everything is almost like in this. Most of the weapons, apart from the disc, are almost from the same level. Also, the plasma caster now makes noise while charging, which completely ruins the element of surprise, so it's like even worse. And it just overall for the Predator is also very bad. I mean, Fireteam has a lot of shit weapons, but it has weapons that are very OP, so it's still like very strong. Yeah, speaking about the Predator weapons, the disc. So the disc has also been a weapon full of controversy. Why? Because if you increase the sensitivity by a lot, which can be done like in the in-game settings, or some controllers I think they can increase it more, or on PC you just get a mouse which can increase the DPI to like a 10,000. If you do that, the disc just becomes much more easier to fly. You can turn it around very quickly, and it allows the disc to become very strong. But this is only if you have low ping. If you are playing a game and your ping is like over 70 ms, like from that forward, like it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be rubber banding. The disc is gonna be lagging. So it's mainly when you have low ping, which the disc can be very powerful, because the disc is a weapon that can do one of the highest damages in the game, and you can do multiple hits with it, and you can do it while the Predator is not even close, is not even exposed. Like most of the weapons require the Predator to have to be looking at the fireteam. You have to be on the Predator field of view, like, or your Predator model character. You need to be aiming at the fireteam. Like the plasma caster, you're gonna be aiming even if the fireteam doesn't see you. You still have to expose yourself. You have to aim there, and the fireteam can shoot you. Same thing with throwing the combi, following with the bow. All those things can be done. It can be done well, but the fireteam can shoot you. With the disc, you can just jump into one place far from the fireteam, like top of the mountain, drop the disc, make it go down to where the fireteam is, and they can try to throw grenades at you. It's still possible, but like you're still not on their field of view, you know? It allows the Predator to do more damage than in many of the other weapons. Not just more damage per hit, but multiple hits of high damage, which cannot be done by other weapons. Like the bow, you can only shoot one arrow at a time. You can only shoot one plasma shot at a time. With the disc, you can turn it so fast that it can the discs can be done, like the twist can be done so fast that you can do it like in a very fast manner, you know. So it's like every single disc hit is like half of a second from each other, like it's almost instantly. So which allows like for a lot of let's say some people say it's unfair, because then the people that have like a higher sensitivity is gonna have an advantage. But it's still like I don't know, like I don't think it's such a big deal. It's same thing can you apply to someone that has a better hard drive. If your machine is better, if your CPU is better, it's gonna give you more FPS. It's just this kind of thing, and I would say it's not that much of a problem because the fighting is OP. It always comes down to this, because when you have like stuff like support, damage resistance, field medic, tracker, Dante, in those situations, like the disc is the only option, because all the other weapons were nerfed and they have never been like that good to deal with the most overpowered fighting meta builds. And because of that, the disc was like one of the only options. So you would just be able to do multiple hits with the disc, which would allow you to get like easier kills. Or what I would do, we would just do the 4-hit combo, which would just hit the fireteam twice when it's up, twice when it's down, and it's dead. And it can be done even faster before the field medic can revive in those situations. So if you want to really master the disc, you're gonna have to be lucky with the lobbies, because a lot of times you won't have a zero ping. If you have always zero ping, that's good for you. And you're gonna have to have like if you're on PC, just get a mouse with high DPI, increase to the max, and just practice with it. So disc is a weapon which, depending on the sensitivity, it can become much stronger. And I would say also, oh yeah, talking about the classes, I was talking about meta builds. So let's talk about a little bit the classes. I would say classes, which I already made ranking videos of the classes, but I would say the gap between the classes is also high, just like the weapons. Certain classes just make a much better job than others, and I would say they all have like a little bit of their purpose, but it also comes down to the fact that support, Dante are just overall better than everything else. Assault can be also good to apply damage if you're very good with aim, but if you're not very good at the game, I would say like usually like the people that like I try to compensate their skill level by using OP loadouts, they tend to go with support or Dante, because those classes are super tanky. They just have overpowered passives which allow the player to survive longer. Assault can be very OP, But that's only on the right hands, in my experience. You have to be aiming well. You need to be apply damage, because the strength of the assault is damage, which relies is going to be relying on how good your aim is. Dutch 87 has always also been considered very OP. However, at the moment, because of the pistol nerf, he was very OP because when he could use the pistol freely. But right at the moment, unless he has teammates to be able to carry ammo bags for him, like I just don't feel he's as OP, you know. Just because like if I'm playing solo, I'm gonna have to use the submachine gun because I cannot bring ammo bags. And with submachine gun, he's like not that strong. And because of the gearhead nerf, affected a little bit the meta Dutch 87 build, which was very OP. So at the moment, I would say definitely support and Dante are just better than everything else. Oh, also recon tracker can be a big problem, but like alone is because just is like light class, but tracker is still very OP. The spotting mechanic in the game, it can be still very overpowered against the Predator. So worst fighting classes, Isabel and the Dutch 2025. Isabel is just like a worse recon, a worse assault. I don't know, she's just bad. Dutch 2025 is like a support that doesn't have the OP passives, or is like a assault that does less damage but is a little bit tankier, but it still does less damage, and it cannot bring as much gear, so he's just like in a weird spot. For the Predator classes, most of these low Predator classes are just garbage. Then you have the classes that are like faster, have more stamina, but they have low energy and have all the disadvantages. And then you have the classes that are over like in the middle. Those are going to be the best ones, as I explained in my videos ranking Predator classes. So I would say Hunter is overall like a good option. Other options for DLC, you can get like Amazon, Scar, or even Lauti Exalted, I would say is also like up there in on my list. Oh, let's see, climbing trees. Oh yeah, this goes for keybands, because I'm reading like from my list of topics to talk about. So something that I see a lot of Predator players suffering from, which I did as well, is that the key that you use to jump, I mean PC is just like space. It's also the one that is by default used for climbing trees. So sometimes you're just trying to jump away, move, you know, or leap, whatever. Or is it a leap? I don't even remember, because I already changed this key binding so long ago. I don't remember if it's like the one from normal jumping or leaping that is the same one that you use for climbing trees. But anyway, so the one that you use for climbing trees is the same one that you use for jumping or leaping. And because of that, sometimes you want to leap, you want to just get away, and you end up like accidentally climbing a tree. And when you do that, the Predator goes to animation of climbing the tree, and it's like maybe just like 2 seconds. But during those 2 seconds, the fighting can shoot you. And I died like in private games because of this. Because when you have like 4 fighting players that are using meta builds and they have all their gun at you, 2 seconds is all that they need to kill you. So I would say one of the first things, go to the settings of the Predator key mapping and change the climbing trees to, or just remove it. Like you don't want to climb trees as the Predator. Also another thing, you can jump directly into the branches, which allows the Predator, not only that doesn't cost you stamina, so it allows you to move from like the ground to a branch that is far away from you. It's like a free leap, you know. You can leap freely. Like leaping usually costs stamina. I mean, always gonna be costing stamina. But if you just jump directly into a branch, it's pretty much like a leap that doesn't cost you stamina. It's gonna already put you into the branch that you need, to the tree that you need, you know. And it doesn't make the Predator go to the animation. So for me, I think I even have the key binding for climbing trees is like deactivated. I don't even have any keys, because I don't ever climb trees as a Predator, because it's like I removed the option from my key mapping, you know. So if I want to get to a tree, I just jump directly into the branch, which is just completely much superior. And since there is no key binding for the climbing tree, there is no risk of me ever climbing a tree, because it's like off for me, you know. I was asked also to talk a little bit about how to get good as a sniper, which I might make a video more in detail. But sniping is, I would say, 90% about just practice and finding the right sensitivity, because I have met good sniper players. Some of them use a low sensitivity, others use a high sensitivity, which is like one extreme to the other, and they were both good in the same level. But if they change it, their sensitivity to play what the other one was playing, the guy that was playing low sensitivity trying to play high sensitivity, he would just become a terrible sniper. So finding what's the best sensitivity for you and practicing with would be like the most of it. And then the rest of it is just about knowing how the game works, how the Predator moves, so you can sniping better, knowing when the spots in the trees where you can actually hit him, and he's not gonna get like into the branches instead. Just knowing how he leaps, like how fast he leaps, getting used to the leap of the Predator, and like how you have to track it through the air, and just if he's spotted, you just have to point and click to the green icon. But I would say for sniping, that's pretty much it. Escaping traps, it's something that I was asked in a short that I made, and I would say just if you want to escape. Oh, it wasn't escaping traps; it was escaping the netgun. If you want to escape netgun fast, I know that back then I knew players that would use macro for it, so you could just like to hold the key instead of tapping it. But I still just do it by tapping it. I don't care if it hurts my keyboard. It's a cheap keyboard anyway. If it breaks, I just get another one. But I just tap it fast, and the secret is mainly that you need to tap it fast while not moving, because if you move, it makes it harder for the minigame. When you get netted, you have like this little, like, you have to press, I think it's F by default on PC, press F to escape, and you need to keep tapping it over and over. And if you don't do it fast enough, it's probably gonna kill you. But if you do it like very fast and you're not moving, it can be done very fast. Like the normal netgun is just terrible because of it. You can escape in like 2-3 seconds if you have a fast finger. If you move around, it's gonna get a little harder, but it's still possible. The big problem is when the Predators have the Trapper perk. The Trapper perk makes it harder to escape traps and netguns. The nets, so it is gonna have to require you more taps. But if you stand still, you can still do it. Just don't move while the Predator nets you. Just if you want to escape the trap, just tap it as fast as possible. But then again, like if you're not using a tanky class, you might die before. Like if you're using a scout and you get netted, like it just doesn't take that many hits for the Predator to down you. But if you're like using a support or a Dante, I'm pretty sure you're gonna be able to escape if you have a fast finger from the net without any problem. Oh, something that I could mention would be the clicking noise of the Predator. So if you stand, I don't remember exactly the time, I don't think it is like every 1 minute or 2 minutes, the Predator makes a clicking noise, which gives away his position. Is overall terrible. It's like really a dumb mechanic, because it's like directional noise, which the fighting can always know where you're coming from, and that can only be done while cloaking. Something that you can do at the start of the match is that you cloak, so you can trigger this clicking manually, So when you're far away, you can try to cloak and make the clicking happen, and then so that by the time that you go close to the fighting, you won't have to deal with the clicking happening close to them, so they wouldn't be able to know where you're coming from. Discipline is a good specialization to remove this. However, like, still not enough, because the Predator already makes a lot of noise, but the clicking just makes it worse. It's like having one less noise to worry about,